Well, because I am an extremely spoiled and lucky human being, this just showed up on my driveway. It is a wood-fired pizza oven made by Alpha. It's the 4 Pizzy, I guess is how they say that, Pizze. And I can't find any unboxing videos of this thing. I don't even know how it's going to look inside this crate, if it's fully assembled or what. So I thought, why not make one for anybody that's looking at this in the future? So I will take a few pictures and maybe a little video and try to share what it looks like inside here so that we can, I don't know, maybe help out the next guy.
So to start getting this thing out of the box, I found out that the top and the bottom of this wooden box are actually held together with 4 screws, one in the center of each, the top and the bottom of the wooden panels there. So we pulled those screws, and then we could take the top off of the wooden box, and then we could actually pick up the whole side of the thing in one solid piece and set it off to the side. Those 4 panels that would be the side are all held together with that kind of red metal banding there, and we could just pick that off and set it off to the side. So that's what we did. And then the next step was we figured out the oven is almost fully assembled inside there. It's not separate pieces, and it weighs like 400 pounds, so you're probably not going to pick it up. So we thought about a lot of different things and finally settled on actually trying to roll it off of the top of the 2 pallets by using a plywood ramp, just a piece of plywood that I had laying around. That's 3/4 plywood that we attached to the pallet with 2 screws. You can kind of see where we put them in just to hold it to the pallet so that we could roll the pizza oven off. We had to rip off one little strip that was kind of keeping it from rolling off, but we were able to roll it down. And then because I live on a corner lot, we actually just rolled the pizza oven down my driveway and then up the street so that we could get it closer to my backyard. The casters are big enough that it didn't have any trouble rolling on the road, and then actually we thought we might need something to keep the casters from sinking into the yard. So we were actually going to use the box that was kind of flattened out, the wooden box. We were going to use the sides from that just to kind of roll it on top of that, so that it wouldn't sink into the yard. I have pretty soft yard, but it didn't need it. It actually worked out just fine for us to just push it across the grass on the casters. And so we got it onto my back patio much easier than I thought it would be.
So the next phase of assembly is peeling off all the polyfilm. All of the stainless steel parts are covered in this nice sticky film stuff that I assume is there to protect it, and then you enlist your 5-year-old to peel it all off, which is going really well.
That's it.
That's it? I don't know. I think there's a bunch more, isn't there? Yeah, let's keep going. You're doing good work. So I've nearly got this thing put together. It's looking really good. There wasn't much to do other than attaching the shelves on either side. Those just take 3 bolts, and that's pretty simple. And then peeling off that polyfilm that's covering almost all the stainless steel surfaces. And then the chimney just slides in. The little cap on there just kind of clips in. It's got 3 little flanges that just kind of clip into the top, and then the pipe itself just sits in there. There's nothing securing it or holding it in place other than there's a little bit of a ring there that just keeps it from sliding in too far. So you can take it off if you need to cover it or whatever. So I got all the polyfilm off, except if you look here where the tray is, right here, this front tray, it's hard to see on the camera here, but right here there's some polyfilm that's pinched in between the oven itself and then this front shelf tray thing, and I want to get that out of there. I don't want that to burn up in there. I think that would be gross, and I'm pretty sure it would get way too hot to just let it sit there. I'm pretty sure it would have for sure burned. So I'm gonna have to take this tray off, which is kind of a pain, but not a big deal. I think all that's held on is a screw on each side that's fed in from underneath. And when we opened the crate, we actually found 2 screws, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the screws that should hold this tray in place. So one of them's already out, so I guess it saved me the work there. I'm not real sure where the second one came from, but it looks, this was not a screw from the crate. This is a screw from the pizza oven. So it either fell in there from the factory or is one that fell out during shipping. So we're gonna have to hunt around and see that. But so now I gotta take this off. so that I can get that polyfilm out of there, and then put it back on. Should be pretty good to go then. Alright, so we're sitting underneath the oven now. You can see here's the front. And if you go up underneath here, you can see, it's kind of a silly shot to have, but up through there, there's a screw on either side that holds this tray in place. And then inside, if you go up, so here we're coming in from the front, and you go just underneath this front lip, and there's a sheet metal screw, 2 of them, that hold this in place that you got to get in there and get out to take that off to get that polyfilm out of there. And so you need a stubby screwdriver because you don't have much clearance. So you get those 2 out and then you can take it off. So there you can see the front of the oven with that front tray removed. No polyfilm in there, but if we go over to the tray that I just took off, here you can see the screws that were, here was a screw, here was one of the screws, here's the other one, and here's the polyfilm that's still on there. I don't think we want that pitched in there when we start this baby up. I think that'd be pretty gross. So I'm going to peel that off and then I'll put it back on. Alright, so the other missing screw came out of the caster, so I'm going to have to get that put back in. And I got the shelf back on, so once that's done, we are actually finally done putting this thing together. And then I'll do a little test firing just to see what happens.
Another thing of note is they ship the oven with an extra fire brick. That's actually in the box that comes in underneath the oven. And in case you're wondering how thick they are, I thought that was kind of interesting. And I'm sure that's in case one gets broken during shipping, but mine didn't, so I have an extra.
We got our first fire going in there. Built a little log cabin style. Got a little wood shavings and a little paper in the middle, and then built a log cabin around it. I used really dry ash wood that I've had laying around for a while that I split pretty small. And then eventually I'll move that off to the side. And I got, if you look down below there, a couple of bigger logs on the left that I will then put on it. Gradually I'll build up to getting those on there and get her good and fired and hot, just to get everything clean in there so that it's ready to go. And hopefully we'll make a little bit of like flatbread naan tonight on the stones. First test run.
So here's a shot of the finished naan from after that first firing. Turned out pretty good. And then of course the next night I couldn't resist actually trying to make pizza. So here's the first pizza in the oven, and then here is actually the results. Not bad for my first go, I suppose. Well, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. I may post a few more oven videos as time goes, and take care.